sharpened her rhetoric.
We saw the U.S. take control of Venezuela in just a few hours. What will Denmark do if the...
As the Trump administration appeared to warm to the...
This is Luke 12:51. Suppose ye that I am come to bring peace on earth? I tell you nay, but rather division. I like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that's scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aquat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab Omawan back at you with another lesson. And just want to touch on a quick lesson real quick. Going into what's going on with Greenland, right? The Greenland takeover, Nato division, okay? Going off of this little video real quick that I got, which I'm going to play right now. Let me read Luke 12:51 once again. It says, suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you nay, but rather division. All right, so our Lord, all right, is not coming to bring peace upon this place, because a lot of people think that the Lord is here to bring peace. All right, the peace is coming to our Israelite elect. All right, and the peace is going to come after destruction. You see, before we get the sunshine, we're going to have to get the rain. All right, so the Lord is going to bring a lot of division upon this place. And one of the things that's being divided right now is America itself being divided, okay, with everything else, divided with everybody else, okay, and it's all of the Lord. It's all the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right, that has this devil, all right, constantly dividing himself amongst everybody else. You see, this devil was made to what? Bring, you know, he was made to take peace from the earth, all right. When you take peace from the earth, and when you're always trying to be a bully and powerhouse everybody, what happens is you become divided, okay? And because this devil's the most powerful man, all right, this is why the Lord is bringing division upon them. And as a matter of fact, let me grab this. This just popped up in my head, and then I grabbed the video. All right, you have to understand, Esau Edom is one of the most hated, okay? This is Obadiah 1 and 2. It says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Matter of fact, let me take it up one. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. Okay, we have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. You see, so Esau is greatly despised. He's the smallest out of all the heathen nations. He's the smallest, and he is the most hated. All right, and he's the most hated of Yahweh by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because the Lord said, Jacob have I loved, and Esau have I hated. All right, he said he will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So he's always been the #1 hated one on the list. You know, the Lord's most wanted, you know. So let's grab this video real quick.
As the Trump administration appeared to warm to the idea of annexing Greenland, the Danish Prime Minister sharpened her rhetoric.
We saw the U.S. take control of Venezuela in just a few hours. What will Denmark do if the Americans do something similar?
Well, if the US chooses to attack another NATO country, then everything stops. I can't account for what the Americans do, but I can account for what we do from the Danish and European side. And of course, there is full support from the rest of Europe when it comes to the kingdom and the Danish realm, that the borders must, of course, be respected.
The diplomatic spat between the two NATO allies was reopened by this tweet of Greenland filled in with the US flag and the word soon. The image was posted by the wife of the White House Deputy Chief of Staff. On Sunday, Donald Trump doubled down on the theme.
Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need Greenland for the standpoint of national security, and Denmark is not going to be able to do it, I can tell you.
Semi-autonomous Greenland is on the shortest route for missiles between Russia and the United States, and Washington has a military base there. The Arctic territory is also rich in rare earth minerals. Denmark says it's already working with Washington to boost security in the Arctic, and Greenland's Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielsen has also told Trump to back off.
See, this devil's on another level, man. You see, he just want all the resources of the earth, all the resources of the world, you know, to be able to, you know, be the top one that takes this, you know, this NWO. All right. He wants to be the one at the top ruling it all, you see. And this devil's, you know, this is what he's known for, having the fatness of the earth, you know, and having the blessing of the sword. And again, that's what he does. He wages war on everything that's a natural resource. All right. And he will wage war even against his own allies, man, his own people. You know, as the scriptures tell you, man, in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, we living in that time right now. You see, this devil is not a keeper at home. You know, he wants to heap all nations together. You know, he wants to take over everything, man. And this is why the Lord is about to destroy America, because of that pride that they have. All right. For always wanting to be that top powerhouse, man. See, your reign is a wrap. Empires only last 250 years, man. We're coming around that 250-year mark. You see, so it's no coincidence that you're around that 250-year mark, and the Lord is bringing all this calamity upon you right now, man. You see, and they really think that they're gonna be able to conquer that. They really on some ballsy shit right now, you know. This Esau, you know, your cruel lord right now, you know, he is like a top-notch gang member right now. You know, he thinks that he can't be touched, and that's what the scriptures say. As a matter of fact, let me grab that real quick. All right, this is because the Lord gonna bring them down in the dust at the end of the day. Excuse me. Oof. All right, so let's grab this. This is Isaiah 57, and I'm just jump down straight to the point. All right, and it says, where's it at? Oh, damn, my bad. Wrong one. Salakia. This is Isaiah. Give me 1 second. $47. And where's it at? I said 57, Salakia. 47, and let me get straight to the point. This is let's grab it from 5, and it says, "Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms." Okay, because she has that pride. All right, America has that pride that cannot be touched. All right, so she literally thinks, all right, that she will never, you know, ever be destroyed. Okay, it says, "I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy upon the ancient, hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke, and thou hast said, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither did remember the latter end of it." You see, therefore hear now this, thou art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee, In a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. You see? So, you know, she has that pride, man, that she thinks that she can never be touched. That's why it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. All right. A virgin is someone that's never been touched. Okay. So she's going to be in total confusion when the Lord comes and rains that righteousness upon her at the end of the day. All right. And makes her be taken out of the way. All right. By the way of all these nations coming against her together. You see, Shalom Malak, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. Okay. So let's grab this. This is since I was in Obadiah, I'll grab that real quick. This is Obadiah 1 and 7. Okay. And it says, I'll take it from 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Teman, all right, which that goes into Germany, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off and, be cut off by slaughter, you see? So, you know, even their own allies, okay, is starting to turn against them, all right? Because what did they say? Denmark was basically saying, Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. What was Denmark saying? That if they go and invade Greenland, all right, that is going to cause a split between NATO, you see? So let's read that in the NLT. It says, all your allies will turn against you. You see, all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you and you won't even know about it. And see, that's the thing. Secretly, all right, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah is putting the thought in all these nations to have secret meetings, and they're coming up against America, and America doesn't even know it. So right now, in this present time, best believe that these other nations have sat down in their own little round table and have conspired against Esau himself, has conspired against America. The same way all these nations was conspiring against us. See, now they starting to conspire, all right, against America. You see, that's the curses starting to fall upon all these nations, you know, upon Esau himself. Okay, because the Lord said that these curses shall come upon them, you know. So, and it tells you that, what's that in real quick? That's in Deuteronomy 30 and 7. And it says, and I, the Lord Yahweh, thy power, will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. You see? So all these curses that were once on us, you know, of us being the most hated in the world, you know, now you're starting to see how the Lord is putting curses on these devils, you know, and now Esau is becoming the most hated, all right, worldwide. All right. But see, with his pride, he don't give a shit. He just going to keep doing what he do. And at the end of the day, it's of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah that got him in that state of mind, because the Lord got him on the strong delusion, you see? So all the allies of America are starting to turn against them. All right, let's grab, let's go to Daniel real quick. This is Daniel 2 and, 1 second. Daniel 2 and 30. Around 4. Yeah, let's grab let's grab 40. Hold on, Salakia. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to close these out. So this is Daniel 2 and and you had Daniel that was basically interpreting the dream, all right, to Nebuchadnezzar, okay? And let's grab what it said. It said, right, let's take it from, I guess I'll take it from 36. It says, this is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king, all right? And this is going into that first kingdom, which was Babylon, all right? And it says, thou, O king, art the king of kings, for the God of heaven, all right, has given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory, and wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven has he given into thine hand, and has made thee ruler over them. Thou art his head of gold, all right, because this was going into that statue, right? And then it says, and after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, all right? So after that Babylonian empire came that Medo-Persian empire, okay? And then it says, in another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth, all right? So that third kingdom was going into the Greeks, okay? And then it says, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. All right, and that's talking about Rome, okay, which we're still in that fourth kingdom now, you know, because we're in the ancient the revival of that ancient Roman Empire, you see, and we're at the legs, okay. And they've been that long. They've been the legs for a long time, running the legs along on the body, right? So they've been ruling for a long time, and we're now at the bottom where the feet is at. Okay, so it says, and whereas thou sowest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay, and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sowest the iron mixed with the miry clay. Okay, and that's going into these, you know, into NATO and the EU. Okay, you know, you had some that were basically strong, okay, and some that were weak, okay, which is gonna explain it more. All right, so hold on real quick. Salakia. So it says, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Okay. And whereas thou sowest iron mixed with the miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. Okay. And that goes into them you know, what them forming with the alliances, okay, going into the them making pacts. All right, so it says whereas thou saw iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with the clay. Okay. And it says, and in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to another people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. All right, and that's basically going into Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, because that's going to be the true rulership. See, the Lord going to take all these kingdoms down, right? He's the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. You see. So he's going to destroy all of that. But see, the main part was that it says in 41 where it says, let me read it again. It says, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. So you're about to witness basically the NATO and the EU end up getting divided, all right, with America, all right? And the scriptures tell you that. Let's grab that. In Matthew, what is that? Matthew 12. All right, this is Matthew 12 and here, 1 second. Should be 12. You know, if a kingdom shall not stand, right? If Satan cast out Satan, this is 12 and 26, and it says, and if Satan, I'll take it from 25. It says, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city and house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? You see? And then, you know, if that, which the Lord gonna put the spirit on him to do it anyway, all right? That's what's eventually gonna happen. They're gonna end up splitting, all right? And now NATO ain't gonna want nothing to do, okay, with America, all right? And that goes into the beast hating the whore, all right? Revelation 17. All right, let's grab that real quick. This is Revelation 17 and where's it at? This is, I'm not passing right by it. Yeah, this is 16. And it says, and the 10 horns, which the 10 horns goes into the same thing as the feet, right? The clay and the going into the clay, right? And it says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh has put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of Yahweh, until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. You see? So this is all happening of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. All right. So the 10 horns is the same thing as going into, you know, the toes at the feet. All right. That was part iron and part clay. Okay. So it says, for Yahweh has put in their hearts to fulfill his will. All right. When you go back into Daniel, the 2nd chapter, right? Just grab that. All right. Daniel 2. And where's it at? Should be around the 1 second. Where's it at? This is 21. And he changeth the times, all right, and seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise, and knowledge to them that know understanding. He revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. All right. So the Lord is what sets up kings, and he removes the kings at the end of the day. All right. And as a matter of fact, when you read it in the NLT, it says he controls the course of world events. All right. So everything that's happening, all right, is all through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. You see, because he's the one that's in control. Matter of fact, you go into, I think it's 21, Proverbs 21 and 1. It says the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh, as the rivers of water he turneth it whithersoever he will. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord Yahweh pondereth the hearts. You see? So we understand that, you know, man's goings is of the Lord. Okay, how can a man understand his own way? So the Lord is literally the one that's basically putting it in his spirit to do all these moves. All right, and eventually he's going to put the spirit on all these other nations to turn against America, especially Putin. What did he say? Right, that he said that Gog and Magog will have that evil thought. You see? So now he's starting to literally put the evil thoughts in all these nations to turn against America. You see, and this is all prophecy. All right, that's happening right before our eyes. All right, and it's a beautiful thing. Okay, let's grab 4 and where's that? This is me 1 second. This is, come on, bro. What is wrong with this phone? I need a damn new phone. This is Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High Yahweh ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. All right, but the point is, all right, that the Lord rules in the kingdom of men, you see, and he give it to whoever he will. So at the end of the day, all right, going back to what I was saying, the Lord is setting up everything on his chessboard, man. He's setting up the pieces how he wants it, you see, and everything that you see happening, all right, is not of these men's will, is of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's will, is of biblical prophecy, you see. So for a nigga that say that they ain't the truth, that this Bible's not a live book, you're bugged out. You see, because we're living every single day prophecy right in front of our faces, man. And the only ones that's going to be able to see it, all right, is going to be the elect. The only ones that's going to be able to take heed to it is the elect. You see, because the natural man receiving not the things of the spirit. So we see it through the spirit exactly what's happening. That's why we're able to measure the times. You see? And none of these things happen, right, until the said measure be fulfilled, as the scriptures tell you. All right, so you know the Lord deals in chronological order. You know the Lord is about order, period. Okay, so everything has happened according to prophecy, according to how it's written. All right, according to the way the Lord wants it to play out. You see, so again, it's a beautiful time, man, to be alive right now, man, and be doing the work of the Lord, man, because everything, everything that we see happening, all right, is all biblical prophecy. And that's why you're supposed to be in the spirit of prophecy. If you're not in the spirit of prophecy, then you're not on the right page. You're not a true prophet, because the prophets of old prophesied of what? Kingdoms, evils, pestilences. Okay. The prophet that prophesied of peace. Okay. When the true prophet comes and tells you, and when the true prophet comes, right, and the things that the Lord's been, let's grab that real quick, as a matter of fact. This is, bro, yeah, this phone tripping. Let me just do it this way. The prophet that prophesied peace, KJV. I might have to just start doing that shit instead.
The King James Version.
This is Jeremiah 28
prophesieth of peace.
And 8. I mean the 9, and it says, the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord Yahweh truly sent them. You see? So again, the Lord said that he come not to bring peace upon the earth, but rather division. Okay, so anybody that's preaching peace, preaching that all nations could come together, you know, that we all got to be sitting together in a circle singing kumbaya. All right, that's going way off. You're not a true prophet. All right, because the true prophet is going to be speaking dark parables, man, and that's what we're doing. We're speaking dark parables upon this place, man, and that's why they hate it. That's why they hate us. This is why they're trying to, you know, persecute us. All right, because everything that we're speaking is being spoken into existence through prophecy, you see, and it's happening right in their faces, and they can't understand it themselves. Do you know how many times Esau probably want to do a certain move, but it doesn't happen in his favor because the Lord is directing his steps, you know, as the scriptures say. Let's grab that. And in Job, he sealeth instructions, KJV. Yo, the fact that it says beeleth, and I know I said sealeth, is wild. That's why I hate this phone already. This is why I hate technology, bro. Like this shit is just fuck Esau's technology. Straight up. This is 33, Job 33 and 15. In a vision, in a dream, in a vision, okay, of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instructions, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. You see, so the Lord is what's sealing the instructions of men on a daily basis. All right. See, when you're doing the will of the Lord, you're being sealed by the angels. But when you're doing wickedness, all right, you're being sealed by what? You're being sealed by demons. So these devils is demons. All right. So they're just being programmed all day long by demons. All right. And the Lord's always putting the instructions in these devils to do more wickedness, to turn, you know, bring more evils upon the earth, to bring more division. You see? And that's what's happening right in front of our faces, man. And we just can't wait to see him make the next move and the next move after that. All right. Because the more he makes these moves, the faster we get up out of here. You see? That's why sometimes when we got to sit there and wait for Esau to make his damn move, it's annoying. This is like, nigga, you be talking all that nonsense, right? Like you big and bold, but let you just get to it, you know, instead of having us wait, you know. But hey, that's the patience and the faith of the saints. We have to be patient. We have to suffer, you know. So, hey, you know, that's pretty much the point. All right. What's happening right now is you see that the beast is starting to hate the whore. Okay. And you know, the whore being America and the beast being, you know, NATO and the EU, you know, combined together to come up against America, you know, along with, you know, these other nations that already hate America, you know, Russia, China, you know. So it's going to be a beautiful day, all right, when the Lord finally puts the spirit on all these nations to turn against America, and then they're going to all come together and annihilate this place, man. You see? That's right. The prophet subject onto the prophet. Yeah, I hate this phone, bro. I be hating these phones. They just be tripping. You be trying to get into apps that don't want to work and shit. But hey, that's what it is. But yeah, I hope, Lord willing, you were edified. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aquat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith, enduring as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai. Shalom.